Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Middleware Technologies. Today we will look at volumes in Linux container management. So volumes are basically used to persist data like that is being used by the containers, even when the containers are destroyed. Okay, so that is the main purpose of why we want to use volumes within container management. Okay, so let me give you a simple example. Let's say we have a Jenkins image which we have launched uh, uh, in a container. So this Jenkins image is basically used to run the Jenkins jobs, which poll the repositories and try to build the artifacts. Okay, but the Jenkins jobs that we create, these should be available even when the image when the content is destroyed. So how we can achieve that one? Okay, so these Jenkins jobs which are created in the file system, that can be mapped to a volume such that whenever that container is destroyed, still the Jenkins jobs that are created, that information will be available in the persistence storage volume that we have mapped. Okay, so that is the main purpose of using volumes. So right now in today's video, we'll try to see how we can create a volume and how we can use that volume within a container. And also we will try to see when there is the content is destroyed, we'll try to see whether that data is still available or not, and if that can be used by another container. Okay, so let's see it with an example. Let me go into my shell. Okay, so let's do podman volume help. So this will give information about what volume is. So volumes are created in and can be shared between containers. So that is the main purpose of using volumes. We want to share the data between the containers, even if the containers are not available. Okay, so that is the main purpose of volumes. So let me try to create a volume. So we'll try to let's see what arguments this create option will take. Okay, so you can see by default it will accept the driver as local, and it will create a volume on a local host machine. Okay, so this is the default volume that is going to be created. But let's say you want to create volumes on a remote machine or on a cloud provider. So for that purpose, we need to pass these parameters like driver and the opt parameters to provide the required details. So in that case, these options will be required. But in our case, let's try to create a volume on a local uh, on local host. So we'll use podman volume create static. Okay, so I'm naming my volume as static, so it will create a volume named static. Now let's try to see our volume list. Okay, you can see what are the volumes available in this. So you can use volume ls. So you see there is already a volume named stack vol, and we have just created the static volume. Okay. So we have created this volume, but we are not sure where exactly this data which we want to persist between containers, where exactly it is stored. That information we are not aware right now. So how we can check that one? Okay, so we can do volume inspection. So we can do podman volume inspect and the volume name, that is static. Okay, so you can see this is the volume that we have just now created with all the information. So it has it is a name static driver. As I said, by default it will create a local volume, and this is the mod point of the host machine where this volume data is going to be persisting. Okay, so this is the path where our like data which we want to persist between containers is going to be stored. Okay, so this is how we can check where exactly our data is getting persisted. Right now, right now we know like where it is persisting. So let's try to use this volume and create some content into that location. Okay. So let me clear my screen. We'll do podman run with interactive terminal, or we'll just try to run a busybox container named busy. Let's try to attach volume here. So let's try to attach our volume static to apps folder within the container. So this is how we do volume mapping. Okay, so we are going to run a container named busy with a volume mapped static volume mapped to apps directory for busybox container. Okay, so let's give the like image name here. Let's try to pull. Okay, so let me rename, let me create a container with a different name. So let's create a name like busyman. Okay, so our container is right now created. Okay, so let's try to list it. Podman. So this is the container we have created, busyman. Okay, so let's try to attach to this container and see what is available in apps folder. Podman. Execute directly. Okay, the state of the container is showing as improper because our container is in stopped state. So let's try to start the container busyman first. Okay, now like our container is up. Okay, so let's try to connect to this container now. So we'll do podman execute interactive to busyman, and this container like we need to run the sh command within the container. So we'll give sh here. Okay, so now we are able to connect to the container. So let's try to go into apps folder. Okay, so we have this volume static map to the apps folder within this container, but right now there is no persistent data available. So let's try to create some hello.txt file and save it within this apps folder. Okay, so we have created our persistent data. Let's see So what we will try to do is we will try to destroy this container and first see whether our persistent data is available in the volume like volumes folder that has been created on the host machine. Okay, so let's exit from this container first, and let me destroy my container. So first I need to stop the busyman container. Okay. Okay, now it is stopped. Okay, so let me destroy my busyman container. Okay, now our busyman container is also gone. So if you see, there won't be any container with that name. So let's try to see whether our persistent data is still available in the volume like static that we created initially. So let me try to do ls-ldr on the folder like volumes folder var lib container storage volume. So here there will be static folder. This is a volume name that we have created, and under this like we will be having data folder. In this we should be having the hello.txt that we created. Okay, so as you can see this file is available like persistent data. So so we are good. So we can we are okay. Like we can consider like our persistence data is still there even when the container is destroyed. Now what we will try to do is we will try to create one more container with a different name and try to map this persistent volume onto that container and see what happens. Okay, so let me create one more container, podman run interactive minus name busyman2. Let's name our new container as busyman2 and pass the volume mapping. So let's try to map our static to slash stack. Okay, and pass the busybox image name. Okay, now like our container is created, and this is a new container. Okay, let me go into the static folder now. Okay, that is stack folder that is mapped to the static volume. So here we can see the hello.txt file that is available in the volume static. So this file we have created in our first container, that is busyman. So it is a persistent data that has been saved in the volume, and we have destroyed our initial container, and this is our new container busyman2 in which we have tried to map the same volume, and we are able to see the data. Like basically whatever file we have created, it is still available for use. So this is how we can use volumes within containers like using podman. So this can be used for multiple applications or use cases, like as I mentioned in Jenkins, wherein we create a lot of jobs which we want to store even when the container is destroyed. So in that case, it is very good to use volumes to store our jobs data. So that is how we can use volumes to persist data. Okay, so yeah, so this is all for today's video. We will try to see something new in our upcoming video. So yeah, until then, you guys have a good day, and Yeah, thank you all. Thanks for watching this video.